Hello and welcome to our podcast series, Conversations with KidsPeace. I'm Bob Martin. Technological innovation, it can be disruptive. It can also be transformative. And a lot of times you don't know which way you're going to go until you're actually using the technology. In an agency like KidsPeace, we're always looking for ways to improve the way that we can help kids who are suffering with mental or behavioral health issues. And technological innovation is one of the things we're looking at. But we have to look at it in a way to make sure that the technology is effective and sustainable for the health and well-being of the kids that we're working with. So we have a system in place to help us do that kind of evaluation. And today we're going to talk about that. We're also going to demonstrate a program that's in a pilot right now using the technology of virtual reality to help kids learn coping skills to manage their situations. We're going to be joined by Jamie Chubb, Director of Clinical Services at KidsPeace's residential program at the Orchard Hills campus in Orfield, Pennsylvania, and Kaitlin Stefanski, who acts as the chair of KidsPeace's Innovative Interventions Committee, the mechanism by which we're evaluating some of these new approaches to taking care of the kids in our care. Here's our conversation. We're here with Jamie Chubb, Director of Clinical Services at our PA residential program here at KidsPeace over at the Orchard Hills campus. Jamie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's begin sort of at the beginning. Explain why teaching the kids in the treatment program during their therapy sessions, the relaxation techniques can be so important for what they're facing.
Sure. So as you know, the kids that come here, they have immense amounts of trauma that usually bring them up to this point, and a lot of the coping skills and techniques haven't worked for them. So through our research, we found that a lot of times meditation and breath work is one of the top coping skills that really help reduce stress in the body, help anxiety, and give the kids a little bit more control back, especially with some of the trauma symptoms. However, being that that's the number one way to reduce it, we have found that has been the thing that our kids hated to do. If you sit there and you're just like, visualize breathing, they don't like the sensation. It's not, for a kid that's always in fight or flight, sometimes it's unnerving to just have stillness. So we've been trying various ways to bring in some of these techniques, and then we were thinking, what do kids love? They love action. They love video games. And then we found that there were certain platforms on the virtual reality that really lended themselves to being able to teach the skills to the kids in a way that is more familiar to them, that they're interested in, and really make a difference when we've been talking to them about their sensations and about how it's felt. So the diaphragmatic breathing.
And diaphragmatic breathing is known as belly breaths, right?
Yes. So, a lot of times you talk to a kid like, do 4-corner breathing, and you give them a sheet of paper and they're like, this isn't enough. And even if they do it, they don't really, afterwards, they don't say that they really feel differently. But we found this has lent itself very nicely to their skill sets. Kids who don't get breaks a lot of the time, like there's been kids who their families may be far away, or they don't have families that are actively involved. And if they need a break, they could almost go on vacation through the virtual reality. They can go to places they've never seen.
Right. And you mentioned that there are beaches, there are mountains, there are, kind of hikes in the wilderness, and some of them never experienced that.
Right. Bora Bora. I mean, I've never been there, and our kids can, if they want to go there, they could go there. And it's really cool for them, I think, just to have the mental break and then be able to use it during times when you need that immediate physiological change. Like they may be working on a trauma narrative and it could be very stressful, and you could just see like they start getting tense, and afterwards you might say like, we're going to do a 3-minute meditation before we send you back out onto the unit and spend the other time with the other kids. And we found kids that have been avoidant of therapy historically because they just think they're going to talk about uncomfortable things.
Sure.
They want to come to therapy. They want to be in the sessions. And then not only that, they feel very proud because they feel successful that like, I did this, I know how to do this. And then they could practice it when they're not in the session, because diaphragmatic breathing. It's just kind of strange. Like you might think it's up here, you might think it's here, but with the tools, you can see exactly where you need to breathe and then transfer that on a home pass or anywhere else.
So, child comes in and you feel that they're, going to benefit from this. How do you introduce them to the idea?
Sure. Well, a lot of times you work on just psychoeducation to begin with, just what the benefit is for the body. Like, what is your vagus nerve and what is your parasympathetic system? And we go through some of what happens when you have trauma to your body. And first of all, understanding why it's powerful to gain control of your body. Like, you want to be in control. So you have that buy-in where kids understand the importance of it. And then starting to teach some of the skills before they have the headsets on, because you want them to, it's very immersive getting into it. So I think getting them comfortable with it, explaining for our kids, they always want to know what's going to happen next. So you might say, like, I'm going to get it set up. You can go through their preferences and get it set up to exactly what they like. And then you're there with them the whole time. Our kids, some of them have had VR experience before, so they can almost run the headsets, but other kids, it's their first time. So with them, you obviously have to go through it a lot slower, but we just very quickly, they catch on. We find that it's something a lot of the kids are requesting to utilize during their sessions, and we want to make it amenable to all the kids at this point, that if, as long as they're not actively psychotic or anything, that it wouldn't make sense to put the headset on. We're teaching them the skills and giving them the opportunity to try it and see if they like it.
And like anything else in life, if you're able to demonstrate it and to show it, the lesson might take root a little bit deeper and a little bit more effectively because you've gone through it and you do it in a way. It seems like one of the aspects is the kids really do get a sense of control of this, which may not be the case in a lot of interventions. And I think it's pretty amazing. Well, we are going to hook me up to this equipment that you have there, and we're hopefully going to give folks a chance to at least experience it a little bit through video of what you're going to do. So why don't we do that right now? This is about breathing.
Yes.
And so I'm going to put the controllers on my stomach here, down low. And what kind of breathing are you looking for again?
It's diaphragmatic breathing. So most people know that as belly breaths. And the whole point of this app is to really give live feedback to be able to demonstrate where you need to breathe. And the deeper your breaths are, the quicker and faster you go through the app. So most people, go through the nose, a real deep breath, and then a long, slow breath out the mouth.
Let's give that another try here. I don't know if my controller is in the right place here.
You can always look at it, and the dot on it should be on your belly.
Okay.
So it should be the same, for both of them.
So let's try the breathing here.
Yeah, take a long breath in your nose, and then a long, slow breath out. You might want to think that your stomach has like a big balloon. So bring it.
it's taken me a little longer to get like the rhythm and the belly breaths down. Do you find that with the kids as well?
Yeah, I think it depends on how stressed they are, if something happened earlier in the day, and I think it's very individualized based upon the strength of their lungs and then how much they practiced it too. Like we found as kids have done it longer, they can sometimes increase their breath. And the power behind it. Yeah.
Well, we're done there. So let me end that and get out of the program.
Excellent work.
Well, this is fabulous. I mean, again, the demonstration really, I hope folks can see what's going on with it.
Yeah, we usually scale with them like a 1 to 10 before they start and then a 1 to 10 afterwards, because then you can see the percentage of relaxation. But like even like I found just sitting here, I was like matching my breathing with you in some cases. Like it's
well, and I guess it really is about taking the attention to what you're doing in your body, and then that helps relieve some of that anxiety because you're not focused on it anymore. Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. Fabulous. So we'll end our presentation, end our demonstration, and thank you. I feel very relaxed. Well, I have been returned to real reality from virtual reality, and I'm also joined by Kaitlin Stefanski, who is our corporate quality assurance coordinator, but more relevant to our conversation here, you serve as the chair of a body called the Innovative Interventions Committee.
Yes.
Give us a quick explanation of what that is, what its purpose is.
So the Innovative Interventions Committee, or IIC, was chartered by our Quality and Safety Committee and our Clinical Practice and Assessments Committee to focus on providing different interventions to trends that we see or occurrences within clinical therapy, like Jamie noticed with needing a new stress reduction method, and provide the research-based and skill-based interdisciplinary to create those new approaches.
So take us through, again, kind of briefly, what did this project have to do? What kind of hoops did it jump through to get from being concept to trial to now piloted?
So it jumped through quite a few hoops. The initial idea behind this project was to do a platform-based VR, which has seats that we would assign to specific children and then cycle through. And it's program-based, so you'd have to finish part A to get to part B to get all the way to Z. So that, we found is not sustainable. There's some HIPAA issues with the platform's recording and like myriad of different things. But most importantly, it's not sustainable for KidsPeace. There's high cost, high risk, and it just doesn't benefit the kids or our staff. And it's very unfair to present a solution and then take it away.
Right.
So one of the things we really look for is our sustainability aspect. And when Jamie brought these headsets, they are owned by us. The apps are owned by us. They don't record. They don't have anything. It's sustainable. And it's really cool because a kid can go on Amazon and buy one of these when they leave and take it.
Oh, okay.
It's, everything we have is not professional licensing. So you can use it in any myriad of situations.
Yeah. And so you're in the pilot project now.
Yes.
With the folks in residential.
Month 4
as we record, month 4. That's yes. Fantastic. Looking ahead, what's the final result? What would you see as one way, either way or that it goes? What would be IIC's efforts in that way?
So right now, what we're looking for is, individual client stress reduction, successful session amounts. Overall, what we'd like to see is it transfer into incidents going down, aggressive incidents going down, seeing a population that is able to get those skills so that we're reducing our risk of injury, of stress, being in a residential setting.
Oh, you mentioned as we record this, month 4. Give us an idea of what the data is saying right now.
So right now we're trying to capture individual clients. So before they start, they give us a stress rating, and then after they give us another stress rating. And right now we're seeing massive decreases of 50% in the stress scale. We're also seeing a very high success rate that keeps changing as our data points change. But right now we're seeing great success within the program, and great success within Jamie's clinical leadership piloting this program and really cheering it. Their excitement and use of the technology is one of the big key things with the data we're seeing right now. Their familiarity with it.
It's not just plug and play. You've got to be able to have the leadership, and then of course the therapist on the ground really working it to its full extent.
Yes, absolutely.
Are you excited about this? Is this an exciting project for you?
It's very exciting. It's one of IIC's first large project bases. And just one of hopefully future many.
Awesome. Kaitlin, thank you for joining us today and letting me play a little bit into the virtual reality well, and good luck with everything you're doing.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for having us here and supporting IIC.
We want to thank Kaitlin Stefanski and Jamie Chubb for joining us on the podcast and giving us a peek at what's happening in the VR world that they're working with to help our kids. We also want to thank you for joining us, and we hope that you'll join us again for more conversations with KidsPeace. Until then, take care.